Minnesota Vikings down the tunnel, getting set to take the field here at the Metrodome. It's the home opener for the Vikings as they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. And welcome everyone to Minneapolis. Dick Stockton along with John Lynch. And after a stratospheric first week for quarterbacks for passing yards, here's Donovan McNabb of the Vikings with only 39 yards. What do you anticipate today, John?
At least 40. No. I expect an attacking and balanced Minnesota Vikings offense. We were around the team this week. They said expect to see the tight ends involved. They did mention we have the best running back in the National Football League in Adrian Peterson. He's going to be the centerpiece. We need at least 25 touches from Adrian, whether it be running the football, throwing it to him. But they got to take advantage of the opportunities presented when everyone's focused on Adrian one-on-ones outside.
You know, for Tampa Bay, it's the opposite side of the coin. They have a 1,000-yard rusher in LeGarrette Blount, and in their loss to the Lions last week, he carried the ball only 5 times. What's up with that?
Well, they threw the ball 75% of the time. That's not them. That's not their formula for success. They want to, as head coach Raheem Morris says, bludgeon people with LeGarrette Blount. They need to run the football. Josh Freeman's an excellent quarterback, but he's best off the play action. Expect to see a lot of number 27, LeGarrette Blount, here today for the Bucs.
It's going to be loud here in the Dome, and the stage is set. Kickoff coming up next, and now here's today's NFL Mobile Moment presented by Verizon.
Gotta get one with NFL on Fox coming up next. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay Glazer with your Verizon NFL Mobile Moment. For all the fans clamoring for Tim Tebow, the closest he's going to get to getting in a game, well, John Fox actually put a package in the run game, not passing. Folks, he's not even close to taking action as a starting quarterback. He's not close to Brady Quinn, the backup, especially not Kyle Orton. You're still a ways away from Tebow time. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Just call ** NFL to get action right on your phone.
You're watching Fox Sports in HD, presented by DirecTV. Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Well, this was the scene back on December 12th of last year. The dome collapsed the night before the Vikings were scheduled to play the New York Giants. They had to play the game in Detroit, but this is what it looks like today. They have fixed the roof, and they have also fixed the turf. And it's a lot brighter in here. Over $22 million to reinflate the Metrodome. And after 2 preseason games, this will be the first regular season game, John, they're playing here.
And Dick, you know, they can change some things, but I'll tell you one thing, this place is still loud. You can feel that as a player. This was the toughest place to play as an opposing player because it was so loud, and that has not changed.
The Buccaneers are looking for their 5th straight win over the Vikings, and Rondé Barber has been here for all of them. The last time these teams played, though, was in 2008 when the Vikings won 13. Lost 19-13 to Tampa Bay. And we're set to go. The Buccaneers win the toss. They'll get the ball first. And Ryan Longwell gets the game underway. And it's a short kick. Michael Spurlock returning for the Bucs. Still on his feet. And Spurlock finally is down at the 26-yard line. Sammy Stroughter, who returned a kick 78 yards last week, is out. And there is Josh Freeman, who's looking for his 15th consecutive games with a touchdown pass. And Freeman in his 3rd year, I think he's still under the radar as far as many people are concerned about how good a quarterback he is.
He's not going to be under the radar for long because this kid is special. He's got an opportunity to be an elite quarterback in this league.
First play from scrimmage from the 26. Freeman will go down, and it's going to be Jared Allen with the sack on the first play from scrimmage, and a loss of 6.
You're going to watch Jared Allen working against Donald Penn. They were both looking forward to this one-on-one matchup. Donald Penn does his job on this. Josh Freeman needs to get rid of the football. That's a quick pass. That's not on Donald Penn. That's on Josh Freeman.
And that's a matchup we'll watch. Donald Penn, who was on the Viking practice squad several years ago. And this gets the crowd even louder. 2nd and 16, a handoff to LeGarrette Blount, and he's hit at the 20. Antoine Winfield coming in from his cornerback position. No gain on the play. Not a good start for a team that doesn't start well as we look at the offensive group for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Williams and Ben, a couple of outstanding young receivers.
Well, the Vikings defense expected to see a lot of LeGarrette Blount. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers talked about their slow starts. They wanted quick, easy throws, and they wanted to get LeGarrette Blount involved early. Not a good start. 3rd and 15 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And the crowd makes it even tougher. Pressure. And going underneath to Ernest Graham, well short though, and he's tackled at the 24 for a 5-yard gain. That was Chad Greenway, and so not a good start on the first series for the Buccaneers, and a punting situation will ensue. And it will be Michael Kanan, the former Atlanta Falcons kicker. And going back is Marcus Sherrills for the Vikings. Kicking from the 15. And a good punt. Sherrills gets hit shy of the 40, and a flag is down. So a penalty marker thrown at the 33. Jeff Triplett and his crew officiating the game.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 39 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That was Hussein Abdullah, and that'll set the ball back for the first possession for the Vikings after the 47-yard kick.
Watch Hussein Abdullah. You know, that's tough. He's holding his hands up, and really just his momentum pushed him into Preston Parker. The referees see certain things on the field, see a guy falling with someone behind him, they're likely to call it, but that's a tough call on Hussein Abdullah.
Donovan McNabb will start from the 20, 2-0 in the Metrodome, and as he said, last week wasn't us offensively against the Chargers. Opening up with 2 tight ends. Play action for McNabb. McNabb's throw, and it's caught. And it was Michael Jenkins with a 16-yard gain. Jenkins, who caught the only touchdown pass last week.
Well, we talked about more balance in this offense. This time, use Adrian Peterson as a decoy. Throw the football to Michael Jenkins on the outside. Last week, 15 out of 19 first downs, they ran the ball. Different offense for the Minnesota Vikings here today.
Last week, it was Adrian Peterson on first down and Adrian Peterson on second down. Now here's Peterson on first down, has some room. Peterson has a first down as he gets to the 46-yard line, and it was Sean Jones, the strong safety, on the tackle, pickup of 11.
And watch Adrian Peterson as a defender. This is the challenge. Look at this jump cut. They call that a jump cut. Great vision. Gerald McCoy's right there, not so fast. I'm going to cut back to the right. Tough guy to bring down in open space. The combination of power, speed, vision, that's what makes him the best in the National Football League.
So you loosen him up with the pass, and then Adrian Peterson does his thing. And a first down on the 47 of Minnesota. And McNabb again goes to Peterson. Peterson is ridden out of bounds by Jones again. And close to the first down, and the Vikings have it into Buccaneer territory at the 43. Let's take a look at this Minnesota offensive unit. And of course, 2 tight ends, and we'll see plenty of them today.
And 0 catches by those tight ends that the Vikings tell you, and we believe are going to be a big part of this offense. Look to get those tight ends, Shanko, Kyle Rudolph, and Kleinsasser involved today.
And that offensive line has been revamped somewhat and had a strong first game. First down, McNabb with the quick pass, incomplete to Bernard Berrien. And that'll bring up second down and 10. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay defense. And John, the Buccaneers have invested a lot with young, quick, not necessarily big defensive linemen.
And that's what drives this defense up front. When we were great back in the day, you do it up front. It makes the job easier for these linebackers. A rookie at the middle linebacker position in Mason Foster, and of course the great Rondé Barber at cornerback.
And he is establishing a milestone today as McNabb on play action, and he is going deep and overthrows Berrien, incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Rondé Barber now with 185 consecutive starts, the longest active streak in the NFL.
You watch Aqib Talib on Bernard Berrien. Leslie Frazier told us Aqib Talib's a great player. He takes some chances. Translation, they're coming after him, and they did it early, they did it often. And you know, you look at, I like the mix from Minnesota right now. They're in 3rd and 10, which you don't like, but I like the flow of this offense, the balance of the offense early.
Toby Gerhart joins Adrian Peterson in the backfield. Here comes the pressure on McNabb. McNabb gets rid of it and overthrows Visante Shanko and got hit. Good pressure that time by Adrian Claiborne, the #1 pick out of Iowa.
Well, you look at this as opposing quarterback, you know pressure's coming, you know you're going to have one-on-ones. Rondé Barber matched up on Visante Shanko, and just too much pressure for Donovan McNabb to stand in there and make an accurate throw.
And one of the Buccaneers seem to be shaken up, and it's Michael Bennett, the defensive lineman. And we're going to take a break right now. Opening minutes here at the Metrodome. No score between the Bucs and the Vikings.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Back here in Minneapolis, Michael Bennett walked off on his own power, and Chris Cluey is in to kick. And Preston Parker standing on the 10. This will be Parker's first punt return. And Cluey trying to keep it inside the 20. And Parker with the fair catch at the 8. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming out for their second offensive series of the game with 4 minutes going by.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Josh Freeman and Raheem Morris trying to find an answer, John, to the slow starts for the Bucs.
Well, it's been a problem that's plagued them, as you can see, for a while. They're trying to get the quick passes, confidence throws early, and expect to see a lot of LeGarrette Blount as well. They feel like if they can get him going early, he's a punishing back that will pay dividends later in the game.
Here is Blount. And Blount, starting from the 8, gets it up to the 15, a pickup of 6.5. With Abdullah making the tackle. Let's take a look at the Vikings defensive unit. And of course, Jared Allen already with a sack in the game. Brian Robinson has played well at the other end. E.J. Henderson was a question mark with a sore knee, but he's starting in the middle.
In the back end, Antoine Winfield, one of the most respected players in the National Football League by his peers. Tough, always in the right spot.
2nd down and 3, and they go to Blount. And Blount not going to get anything there as Jamarca Sanford, the strong safety, making the play, bringing up 3rd down and 3.
But this is where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to be. When we talked to Josh Freeman and visited with him, he said we need to get in 3rd and manageable situations. 3rd and 3 is a manageable situation. It's a positive situation for the Buccaneers. And he talked about production on 1st and 2nd down. This is winning football. Now you got to convert.
And Ernest Graham is in as a receiver out of the backfield on 3rd down and 3, showing blitz, and then coming out of it, a zone blitz. And here is Freeman to run. He'll get the 1st down at over 250 pounds, using his power, and gets to the 26, a 12-yard gain, and a 1st down for the Bucs.
A little cat and mouse game. The Vikings show pressure, come out of the pressure. They take away his reads, but this is where Josh Freeman is so good. He can extend the play, and as you mentioned, Dick, over 250 pounds. This guy's a tough guy to bring down. You see him bouncing off defensive linemen.
Josh Freeman, the second leading rusher from quarterbacks behind Michael Vick last year. We saw him utilize his legs right there.
And the Bucs leading rusher last week in his 3rd season, but he acts like he's been an 8-year veteran. Blunt is back in at setback. Play action. And open, and the pass caught by Kellen Winslow, and Winslow picks up another first down for Tampa Bay out to the 45, an 18-yard chunk that time.
And every team has their formula for success. The formula for these guys is pound you with LeGarrette Blount, then play action off the run action. You're going to see a hard sell to LeGarrette Blount. The defense gets sucked in. Kellen Winslow wide open. That's Tampa Bay Buccaneers' offensive recipe for success.
And Winslow is always there when they blow the whistle and play the game. He may not be for all of the practices. And a first down at the 45. And here is Blount. And a great penetration that time by Jamarcus Sanford. A loss of 3. And so 2 outstanding plays by Sanford in this first quarter.
Really nice play by Jamarcus Sanford. Comes up on the blitz unblocked, but it's tough to bring down. LeGarrette Blount broke more tackles than anybody in the National Football League. Look at Sanford coming off on the blitz and a good open field tackle.
And it's not easy to bring down LeGarrette Blount, who gained over 1,000 yards last year. 2nd and 13. So Graham is in for Blount and is lined up to the right as a receiver. Getting hit is Freeman, and the pass overthrown and downfield. No target close to it, and it was Jared Allen who came on strong on Freeman that time.
Well, Jared Allen has an effect on each and every game he plays, and sometimes it doesn't show up as sacks, but you see him beating Donald Penn right off the bat. Getting to Josh Freeman affects the throw. Jared Allen is a game changer.
And what a personality he is, huh?
An old saying, offensive linemen fly airplanes, defensive linemen jump out of them. He jumps out of them.
3rd and 13. Freeman's pass, and it's caught by Desmond Briscoe. And Briscoe gets into Viking territory, but will be short of a first down by 4 yards. And once again, the Buccaneers will have to kick. So Chad Greenway again makes the tackle on a 3rd down situation. So Michael Kanan in to kick, Marcus Sherrills to return for Minnesota. And the fair catch called for by Sherrills right at the 10-yard line. So it's been that kind of a game, and Josh Freeman directing traffic, trying to get some open people. No score here in the first.
Today's game is sponsored by the Ford F-150, the only truck available with EcoBoost, by the California Whopper and California Whopper Jr. sandwiches, only at Burger King, and by the Droid Bionic, made from machines to rule all machines, only at Verizon.
Back here at the Metrodome, Dick Stockton along with John Lynch. No score with 6:43 left in the first. Both teams had drives starting from deep in their own end. Vikings starting from the 10. So far, total balance in rushing and passing on first down. And the run up the middle to Adrian Peterson, who gets about 3 yards. And we were talking at the outset about Donovan McNabb was at the base, John, of all of the great passing shows in week 1 by quarterbacks.
Well, you got Tom Brady down in Miami throwing for 517. You got a rookie coming in his first game, 422 and 39 yards. And Donovan McNabb, one of the greatest sense of humors in the National Football League, even laughed about it with us. He said we're going to be just fine. We're just kind of learning each other, and we'll get it going.
I like what you said. Maybe he'll throw for 40. 2nd down and 8. And here's McNabb going underneath to Peterson. And you talked about how Peterson, with those 25 touches that they would like to see him get, would be as a receiver as well. Picks up 3 with Geno Hayes, the linebacker, on the stop.
Well, Adrian Peterson, when we visited with him, told us that he really wants to become. That great players always are looking for something to get better at. His offseason focus was getting better as a receiver. Donovan is aware of that and is going to try to exploit that for the Minnesota Vikings.
3rd down and 5. McNabb completes to Harvin. Percy Harvin, and a 1st down to the 25. Rondé Barber on the coverage. Gain of 11, and for a game break, here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Cam Newton beat goes on. Opening drive against the Packers, he gets a 3-yard touchdown pass to Brandon LaFell. On that first drive, Newton 6 for 7 for 90 yards and a score. They're up 7-0. Nick and Judd?
Well, what a surprise early in that game, 7-0. So a 1st down, and Adrian Peterson is tackled by Rondé Barber for a loss of 1 on 1st down. So what did Adrian Peterson told us when we met with him on Friday? He says, you know, I'm watching the film of the Buccaneers. I'm glad you're not there.
Adrian Peterson said that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm not playing against him, because that's a tough guy to tackle. And, you know, everyone talks about him being the best. Sometimes that's thrown around too often. This guy is the best. He's the most complete back in the National Football League.
2nd down and 11. And here's Peterson breaking it and gets tripped up. It would have been a lot more, but he'll get the 1st down out to the 37. And it was Mason Foster, the middle linebacker, who prevented more than a 12-yard pickup.
We're almost on cue. I'm not going to draw anything. Just sit back and watch and imagine being a defender. Oh, there he goes. He's that way. He's that way. Now he's got the speed. He's got the power. And Mason Foster, luckily for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, gets a heel where Adrian Peterson typically doesn't go down. But this guy is a wonderful, wonderful football player. And Dick, you think he's got any guns when he walked in that room the other day?
I said all you need to do is work on those arms and you'll be okay. What a specimen. So a 1st down, and McNabb going underneath, and the pass caught by Shanko, the tight end. So going to the tight end and getting 7 yards on 1st down.
And I think almost a sarcastic round of applause from the fans here in Minnesota, educated fans that know throughout the preseason, Asante Shanko, Kyle Rudolph, and the tight ends were featured. 0 catches last week. Big focus of their offense to get them involved.
Adrian Peterson on the sidelines gained 98 yards last week, and Toby Gerhart is in there. So is Jim Kleinsaucer. And the handoff is to Gerhart. Gerhart down the sideline. That's the backup running back, folks, for the Minnesota Vikings. And he gets the ball deep into Buccaneer territory. 31-yard pickup by Gerhart before Sean Jones brings him down.
Watch Jim Kleinsaucer lead the way. They're going to pin everybody in, and Toby Gerhart's got nothing but space. Not a bad option. Steve Hutchinson, the all-pro guard out in front. Not a bad option to have Adrian Peterson, but bring in Toby Gerhart, who could play as well. This Minnesota Vikings offense looking good and crisp here early today.
And Adrian Peterson checks back in, and a 1st down on the 25, and here's the rollout, and the pass is complete to Michael Jenkins, and Jenkins picking up about 8 yards, where Aqib Talib makes the tackle. Jenkins, a native of Tampa and the former Atlanta Falcon.
And he's really looked good thus far with Donovan McNabb. A touchdown in week 1, but they just appear to have a chemistry that they've played together for years, and sometimes that happens. They've worked a lot, Donovan said, after practice, and you could tell on the field.
Huge edge for the Vikings in total yardage. 2nd down and 3, and they'll play action the other way. Here's Harvin inside the 10, and Percy Harvin has a 1st down at about the 7, picking up 11 yards. Very sharp offense shown by the Vikings thus far.
Well, you establish the run effectively. You can play action to the right or to the left. Now they fake it to the right. All the attention on Adrian Peterson. Percy Harvin, another explosive player, wide open. Donovan McNabb doing a great job selling the play action and getting it in his playmaker's hands.
Harvin with that huge kickoff return to start the game last week against San Diego. This is the 10th play of this drive. 1st and goal from the 7, and here is Peterson fighting his way to the 5. Josh Freeman waiting for his next opportunity as we have nearly a minute remaining in this opening quarter.
And you can really see, you can feel a rhythm with an offense, and that's all the Minnesota Vikings didn't have last week was rhythm. They only had 42 plays. You see Gerald McCoy, a crucial cog in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, but the Vikings clicking on offense early today.
Working on Gerald McCoy with Frank Ocam, number 98, replacing him up front. Donovan McNabb on this drive. 5 for 5 for 39 yards. That's what he threw for the entire game last week against San Diego. Here's Peterson, and Peterson's second effort and third effort, and they're going to rule down at the 1. A 4-yard gain. One of the officials was starting to raise his hands for a touchdown, John.
But you're going to see what you see from Adrian Peterson all the time. He's never down. He's going to continue to fight. You watch him get through the line of scrimmage. Let's try to look for that knee. The knee is down. Good call by the officials. But that's what you love about a guy like Adrian Peterson. Not just the great ability, but the will as well.
Peterson, 40 yards on 7 carries. That's an average of nearly 6 yards a clip. Pat Brown comes in, an extra offensive lineman. And here is Peterson. And Peterson, touchdown, Vikings. Was there any doubt where they were going to go on this play?
I don't think so. You can talk about all the balance you want, but when you've got that guy in the backfield, you're down that close. Give the ball to Adrian Peterson. See the surge up front. John Sullivan, the center for the Minnesota Vikings, doing a great job getting off the ball. And that's easy pickings for Adrian Peterson.
I mean, you got to feed that horse. He's been carrying you downfield, and now you need 1 yard. Who else? As Peterson with his first touchdown of the season. And Ryan Longwell is on for the extra point with 2 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And an impressive 90-yard drive by the Minnesota Vikings as they take a 7-0 lead, a team record. That was Peterson's 53rd career rushing touchdown. There was a 3-way tie for the touchdown lead, and Bill Brown, there you see on the left, and right behind him, Chuck Foreman, along with Adrian Peterson, had held the record for 52 touchdowns before Peterson went over from the 1 to give the Vikings a 7-0 lead.
Some great company that Adrian Peterson just passed up. Bill Brown and Chuck Foreman. Bill Brown, actually the father-in-law of ex-Minnesota Vikings quarterback Rich Gannon.
Impressive drive by Minnesota. And we'll see how the Bucs will answer, but it will be in the second quarter as Preston Parker, returning from 5 yards in the end zone, still on his feet and is finally downed right around the 20-yard line by Jamarcus Sanford. And that is the end of the first quarter here at the Metrodome with the score. The Vikings 7 and the Bucs 0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages.
Well, a couple of myths about kickoff returns being a thing of the past, and the fact that there wasn't going to be any more contact. You see Roy Miller, the nose tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ask Kenny Anatolu if there's going to be any more contact on kick returns. And he'll tell you, yes, sir.
Start of the second quarter with the Vikings leading 7-0, and the handoff is to LeGarrette Blount, and the Vikings are there. They missed a lot of tackles in the second half in San Diego, and no gain on the play. Well, this October, the American League's best teams will look to their brightest stars to see which one will become the newest hero that leads them into the Fall Classic. Legends are born in October, and our exclusive coverage of the ALCS begins October 8th, only on Fox.
Dick, those Tampa Bay Rays are trying to make this thing interesting.
Oh, yeah. They have had an amazing run with the best starting pitching in the league. Without question right now. Second down and 10. And whistle blows. And the conference with Jeff Triplett here.
False start, snap infraction, number 52 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Jeff Bain, the center, and a 5-yard penalty. So Raheem Morris at 35, the youngest head coach in the league, concerned with the slow starts, and I don't know if you can label it yet a slow start. We'll see. And of course, Leslie Frazier on the other side. Both of these teams trying to win their first game of the year. 2nd and 15. 3 receivers and Ernest Graham in the backfield. Flag is down, and Graham is tackled for a loss by Fred Evans, pending the call.
Offside defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So the reason why Evans was able to make the play for a 2-yard loss is that he was guilty of offside. Leslie Frazier, who was emphatic. He says, we will not overreact to one loss on the road. And very similar to the theories of Tony Dungy. 2nd down and 10. Freeman with time, and this pass is ruled incomplete, and it was intended for Aurelius Ben, and Cedric Griffin covering well on the play.
And plain and simple, this is a ball that Aurelius Ben has to catch. A strike by Josh Freeman right on the numbers. Aurelius Ben expects himself to catch that, and will more times than not.
So the volume goes up a few notches with 3rd and 10 coming up. Freeman underneath, completes to Kellen Winslow, but well short of the first down by 5 yards. And so the Vikings, with a good defensive sequence, they have come out primed on both sides of the ball in this game, John, and a punting situation.
They have, Dick, and you mentioned the fact that they didn't tackle well last week versus San Diego. Early on, great tackling by this Minnesota Vikings defense. Things that get emphasized in this league typically get done, I'm sure. And Leslie Frazier told us they preach tackling all week. It's showing up here for the Vikings today.
Kanan kicking to Marcus Sherrills. He'll call for the fair catch at the 23. So a 53-yard punt by Kanan. And right now, Josh Freeman has no answer to the Vikings defense. 7-0. We'll be back.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Cadillac. By Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So far, a stark contrast to Donovan McNabb's performance last week and thus far today, as the Vikings will start from the 24. Peterson trying to break a tackle, loses the ball, and it looks like the Vikings recovered back on the 22. And Anthony Herrera, the right guard, came up with it. It'll be a loss of 3, however.
And remember, a couple of years ago, Adrian Peterson had trouble holding on to the football. Really fixed that last year. But a nice job by the rookie Mason Foster getting his hand on the ball, and heads up play by Anthony Herrera. Being there, you see Foster's hand in there, and Anthony Herrera winds up with the football.
2nd down and 13. And they go right back to Peterson. And Peterson does break away and almost gets the first down, and may have it, in fact, as Rondé Barber finally makes the tackle. And it was Cody Grimm, the free safety, who nearly had him.
You see Adrian Peterson smiling, knowing he's getting the football. Again, the cutback, the vision, the ability to cut back, and then just the power and the will combined together. Cody Grimm holding on for dear life. Adrian Peterson fighting for every yard.
And just shy of the first down by less than a yard. It'll be 3rd down. They'll mark it at the 34. Toby Gerhart has checked in, and here's the handoff to Gerhart, and he drags Cody Grimm an extra couple of yards and has a first down, picking up 5 yards to the 38. Donovan McNabb, and hopes that he finally has found a home. It was a nightmarish year for him last year, and last week, not a good start.
Not a good start at all. The first play of his Minnesota Vikings career, an interception. But different story here today. He's in rhythm. They're putting him in good situations, throwing the ball quick, moving the pocket. Donovan McNabb looks very good and in rhythm today.
From the 38, here's Gerhardt again. Gerhardt, who had a 31-yard play earlier. And a flag is down.
They're going to get Jimmy Kleinsasser for holding Rondé Barber.
The 40, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Right on that after the 3-yard gain, so the penalty will set the Vikings back. Early here in the second quarter.
Watch Jimmy Kleinsasser right here on Rondé Barber. Yeah, he's going to get a handful, and then he's going to bring him down. And they'll get that one every time. Yes, I think so.
Now the Vikings facing a 1st and 20. Back on the 28. Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin. And you never know when he'll line up as Grimm brings him down at the 36. Game break time. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Bears with a big game at New Orleans, and they get on the scoreboard first. Jay Cutler to Dane Sanzenbacher, rookie free agent out of Ohio State. His first NFL touchdown gives the Bears the lead. It's 7-3 right now as they start the second quarter. Dick and John.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. Bears beating Atlanta last week and now playing another NFC South team and ahead of New Orleans. Second down and 12. McNabb getting time, drills it, and the pass to Shanko is incomplete. Setting up third down and 12.
And a good sign for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gerald McCoy just running back onto the field. He is a critical cog, maybe the most critical piece to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. That 3 technique, that under tackle position, makes this defense go. Warren Sapp played that position, and when you can be disruptive there, Gerald McCoy, who went out back in on third down, that's a positive sign for the Buccaneers.
No question, John. Bennett and McCoy both shaken up, but both have returned. Vikings are 3 of 4 on third down conversions. They need 12. Here's McNabb using his feet and stays in bounds and gets the first down. Donovan McNabb, tightrope down the sideline, gets a first down at the 49-yard line. A terrific play by the quarterback, who will be 35 in November, gets 13.
Well, you watch Donovan McNabb. I turned on the tape week 1. He didn't feel like he had a good feel for the system, but physically, the zip on his ball and the mobility, the ability to make plays with his legs, that hasn't changed. Donovan McNabb, 13 years in, still moving very well.
So the question is, will this be a rejuvenated year for him? Peterson is the setback on a first down. And here's Adrian Peterson. And he seems every time he carries the ball to be carrying a few Buccaneers defenders. Gets about 5 yards with Michael Bennett and Sean Jones. Well, Donovan McNabb, of course, known for his great career with the Eagles, leading the team to 5 NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl appearance. And then, of course, a year he'd like to forget last year in Washington.
Yeah, he would like to forget it, and he said he's so happy to be here for a coach that stuck his neck out on the line in Leslie Frazier. They were familiar with each other. From Leslie being an assistant with Philadelphia, he's happy to be here and for a new start.
2nd and 6. Pass caught by Harvin. First down at the Tampa Bay 40. Foster on the tackle, and a gain of 7.
And Tampa, Dick, has to just be hoping. Brian Price went out a couple of plays ago. Three defensive linemen have been hurt in a game which defensive linemen are so paramount. Trying to stop Adrian Peterson. See if Brian Price is all right. Gerald McCoy did come back in, but Tampa's D-line having a rough time staying healthy.
First down at the Bucs 40. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. And there's the pass, drilled perfect, and a first down. Percy Harvin. What a laser thrown by McNabb there, down to the 21-yard line, picking up 20 yards.
One thing I've been very impressed with Percy Harvin, as you see again the hard play action. You're going to garner attention on Adrian Peterson. Great protection and a strike from Donovan McNabb to Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin, they line him up all over the field. They line him up at running back. Rondé Barber told us he's really a wide receiver in disguise. He really is a running back, but we're seeing his receiving skills on showcase today.
4 catches for nearly 50 yards. First down from the 21. Here comes the safety blitz. It's beaten in a pass to Shanko, and a first down inside the 10, close to the 5 for the Vikings. Grimm upends him, but not before. The Vikings pick up 15 more yards.
Rondé Barber, one of the best blitzing quarterbacks in football, 26 career sacks. Going to watch Adrian Peterson step up. He's not going to just run the football. He's a great protector as well. Nice pocket from Donovan McNabb, and there's those tight ends that were missing last week. Seeing Shanko in the game plan today.
Barber saying that Peterson is by far the best running back in the league. First and goal. And here is Peterson trying to juke his way, but he is put down hard by Quincy Black. Black and Geno Hayes both a little bit under fire from Raheem Morris this week.
When you talk about greatness in backs in the NFL, you talk about complete players. Adrian Peterson, he takes pride in his blocking skills as well. He's going to put his hand, maybe a little hands to the face, but he's going to get up under Rondé Barber, and he's going to finish him. That's the way Adrian Peterson approaches football. Life, as Donovan McNabb said, there's one speed with Adrian Peterson.
He didn't mean anything by it if there were hands to the face. Second down and goal. McNabb already has used his legs, and this time will take the safe way and go out of bounds. Chased there by Michael Bennett, and picking up 1 yard. That was a good move by McNabb not to try to force a pass into the end zone.
And a good move by him, eluding Gerald McCoy early. Again, you see it for yourself. Don McNabb still can move around. Good job of holding on to the football. You're in good position. Ball security of a premium.
Now 3rd and goal from the 4. And this will be the 13th play of the drive. Vikings scored on a 12-play, 90-yard drive in the first quarter. That's the tight end Shanko, and the pass incomplete, intended for Shanko. A little bit low, and 4th down coming up, and the Bucs defense holds strong. A field goal attempt coming on.
Well, Donovan McNabb's going to like that matchup every time. You've got Visante Shanko and a backup safety in Corey Lynch. He's going to go there. He tries to attack it, tries to put it only where Shanko can catch it, but good defense by Corey Lynch and the Buccaneers D.
So Ryan Longwell, who connected on his only field goal try last week, this will be a 22-yard attempt. And Longwell adds to the Viking lead. Chewing up a lot of time. Long play, 5:06 left in the half. 10-0 now. Vikings.
Fox Tuesday.
Whoa, you Skyler.
Find out why New Girl is TV's best new comedy.
Oh, just a bean.
New Girl premieres this Tuesday after Glee on Fox.
5:06 to go in the half, and the Vikings, with Longwell's 22-yard field goal, now leading 10-0 over the Buccaneers. Another impressive scoring drive, 14 plays, 72 yards. Last play that resulted in a touchdown. The series went 12 plays and 90 yards as Longwell gets set to kick off, and Preston Parker is deep. Parker at the 2. Preston Parker, very dangerous, and Sherrills brings him down. And so it's been the legs of Peterson, the legs of McNabb, and Harvin as well, teaming up all for a 10-0 advantage.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Back here in Minnesota, and you see the ball control edge for Minnesota. Nearly 8 minutes. Last week, they lost the time of possession battle by nearly 15 minutes. So a big change from week 1, and on the slant, pass is incomplete, intended for Mike Williams, and the first time that Josh Freeman has gone to Williams in the game. Well, this November, Fox Sports brings you an epic UFC heavyweight title fight as the #1 ranked contender Junior Dos Santos squares off with undefeated world champion Cain Velasquez. And this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, you can hear from both fighters as Jay Glazer interviews them live on Facebook.com/Fox Sports.
So many players throughout the National Football League using MMA as a training tool.
Second down and 10. Ernest Graham trying to get going on the outside, but Abdullah catches up with him. But Graham picks up 7.
And Jared Allen was one of the first, and Jay Glazer and he got Jared involved. And Jared says more than anything, yes, technique and the hand fighting and whatnot on offensive tackles. More than anything, I've pushed myself so hard in the mixed martial arts gym. I know I've got that guy in the second half, so watch out, Donald Penn, in the second half, because this guy gets stronger as the game goes on.
Third down and 3. And Freeman untouched is Everson Griffin, the right end, who comes in from the outside. No one blocked Griffin. And the sack, second of the game for the Vikings.
Well, they bring more numbers than the Bucs can block, and then you just got to get the ball out of your hands, and that goes hand in hand with wide receivers winning the one-on-one matchups. There's one-on-one matchups. Mike Williams, Preston Parker, you got to win those one-on-one matchups. They didn't have any separation, leaving Josh Freeman out there to hang.
Loss of 7 yards, so Kanan will be kicking to Sherrills. And a short kick bounces at the 40 and picked up by Sherrills. A risky play with the Buccaneers right there and goes out of bounds. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not run a play in Minnesota territory. They got to the 49. That was it. 10-0. Good first half for Minnesota. Back here at the Metrodome, and the Vikings leading 10-0 have a first down on their 25. McNabb 9 of 14 for 96 yards. Takes a pitch and completes the pass to the young tight end out of Notre Dame, Kyle Rudolph. And you were talking about Rudolph and his value. First down to the 39. Sean Jones with the tackle, and they get 15 on that play.
And I tell you what, between offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave, quarterback Donovan McNabb, all the players executing, they're painting a masterpiece here today with this game plan. Moving the pocket, the naked boots didn't work so well versus San Diego last week. It's working like a charm versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kyle Rudolph, the recipient there.
Peterson. And this time Peterson gets maybe a yard for a game break. Kurt Menefee.
Looks like McNabb and the Vikings bouncing back in week 1. The Saints trying to do the same thing against the Bears. Drew Brees saying, hey, this will help. 79-yard touchdown pass to Devery Henderson, and they go on top of Chicago. 10-7 that one in the second quarter. Dick and John.
What a pass by Brees.
Oh, that will help his contract negotiations. I know they were talking last week.
2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Second down and 9. Rudolph going in motion to the left, and the handoff to Peterson with a burst. Bounces off a couple of defenders, has a first down, and gets into Tampa Bay territory to the 40. A 19-yard scintillating run. Foster finally puts the seal on Peterson.
You look at Adrian Peterson here. Boom, get off me. I've got work to do, and then he shows the elusiveness, power, elusiveness, speed. That's what Adrian Peterson brings to the table. That's why he's the best in the NFL.
74 yards in this first half, and we're not through yet. 2-minute warning.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Adrian Peterson averaging 5.3 yards per carry. The Bucs wanted to keep him at 4. They said that would be a good day. Last week it was 6.1. Right now it's not a good day for Tampa Bay defensively against Peterson. McNabb goes down, and he is tackled back at the 46 by Mason Foster, who's had a good first half. First sack of the game by the Bucs, and they lose 6 yards on the play, and a timeout is called by Minnesota. And here's Kurt Menefee with a game break. Kurt?
All right, guys, we're keeping an eye on every single play in the National Football League, and coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, we'll have all the scores and highlights from a big week 2 in the NFL, including the Detroit Lions trying to get off to a 2-0 start. Plus, the Fox Sports Ticker will have up-to-the-second stats. It's all on the Visa Halftime. See you then.
All right, Kurt, so a different kind of game break. We did break from the game, and a good promo for what's coming up at halftime.
Did you see Terry's Ugg boots?
Yes.
Must be cold out there in Los Angeles.
Well, that's what I think he bought them in Shreveport, where he was born. Very calm, cool Leslie Frazier, seeing his team look awfully sharp in this first half. Second down and 16. Toby Gerhart has checked in at tailback for Minnesota. McNabb overthrowing Devin Aromashadu, former Chicago Bear.
Dick, I like the fact, though, that they're trusting in Donovan McNabb. Week 1, short offseason, short camp. Even though he's played 13 years, he was new to the offense, as was everyone. New offensive coordinator came from Atlanta in Bill Musgrave. You could tell last week they were all finding each other. What do we do well? What does Donovan do well? They're letting him stretch the field. That's what he's doing extremely well.
And you said this at the outset. You're not going to take the game away from Peterson. He's going to get his touches, no question about it. But they're going to loosen it up, go to the tight ends, which Musgrave did a lot in Atlanta. 3rd and 16, and on the screen pass, here's Gerhart. Gerhart, following his blockers, has a first down inside the 20. Gerhart knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line near the 5. Sean Jones finally caught up with him. So a 41-yard pickup on that play.
Watch Toby Gerhart here. 3rd and 15. You invite the rush. Come on, come upfield. We're going to screen right behind you. Rondé Barber's out there all alone. No one helping him. Quincy Black miss on a tackle. 3rd and 15 conversion. Tough thing to do in the National Football League, but everything's working for this Minnesota offense in the first half.
And not bad defensively either, John, for what they've shown. Gerhart remains in the game. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4, and falling down is McNabb, and holding on to it as Daquan Bowers came storming in. And the biggest thing for McNabb, who says, okay, let's go on to the next play, he didn't lose the ball.
Well, I take that back. Not everything's working, but that even happens to guys who've played for 13 years. And you hold on to the football and you live to see another down.
And it gets him a chance to get Adrian Peterson back in the game as we wind down to 1 minute remaining in the first half. 2nd and goal, loss of 5. Back to the 9. Peterson, touchdown, Adrian Peterson. Second touchdown of the game for Adrian Peterson. And 83 yards, and the Tampa Bay defense has been battered by this versatile offense by the Vikings. Ryan Longwell adding the 17th point. Under a minute to go. The Vikings trying to end a 4-game losing streak to the Bucs in front by 17. Adrian Peterson has carried 15 times, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns, and has averaged 5.5. And there is the scoring drive. 8 plays after scoring drives of 12 and 14. And it was Gerhart's 42-yard play that set it up. The Vikings have been in Tampa Bay territory on all 4 of their first half possessions, John. The Bucs have still not run a play in Minnesota territory. Ryan Longwell will kick off, and Preston Parker back deep for the Buccaneers. Parker from 3 yards in the end zone and runs right into a Viking defender.
We go back to the touchdown. Look at this execution. The Bucs bring a little cross dog, and you're going to see Anthony Herrera, the right guard, take care of Mason Foster. Jim Klonsasser, the fullback, on Geno Hayes, and you give Adrian Peterson this much room. Try to tackle this guy in the open field. Rondé Barber, one of the best tackling players in the National Football League. You got no chance against Adrian Peterson. This guy's on a mission today, and his teammates are helping him.
And he said he signed an extension because he loves the coach, the owners, he knows the people here, and he thinks it'll all pay off. And what a first half he's had. And Josh Freeman with the pass up the middle intended for Mike Williams, not close to him.
And what a first half Jared Allen's had as well. Jared Allen, again, the pressure on Josh Freeman. Jared Allen will keep going. You talk about one speed and Adrian Peterson, that's all Jared Allen knows as well.
2 first downs for Tampa Bay, 18 for the Vikings. 2nd down and 10. 43 seconds left in the half. Freeman. And this one caught at the 20 by Parker. And a timeout called by the Buccaneers will bring up 3rd down and 5. So normally flashy, friendly, with a great smile, Raheem Morris, not so far in this half. And they're going to say the timeout called by the Vikings. So the Buccaneers still have all 3 of theirs.
Actually, Leslie Frazier, and I like it. He's saying things are going so well on offense right now. We want every opportunity to go score. You've got your timeouts. Use them. Get the ball back in your offensive hands, and you attack. Maybe you can get more points on the board. Remember, Minnesota last week played real good out in San Diego in the first half. Second half wasn't so good. And also, don't forget this, Josh Freeman, one of the best fourth quarter quarterbacks, a lot of comeback wins in his career. This game far from over.
But of course, the Bucs want to get in a position for a comeback, not to be that far behind. They're not right now at 17. 3rd down and 4. Freeman's pass, and it should be a first down, and it is to Desmond Briscoe. Forward progress will be the 25. Chad Greenway on the play, and the clock stops with 26 seconds remaining, and now Tampa Bay will call its first timeout. Well, this Wednesday, it's time to face the music. Simon Colwell is back with Paula Abdul, Nicole Scherzinger, and L.A. Reid, and they're searching for singers with the X Factor. Don't miss television's next big event, the X Factor. The 2-night premiere begins this Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, only on Fox. Simon Cowell, as everybody knows.
Well, the Lynch family will be watching. My kids, they've already told me, Dad, we're staying up late.
First down at the 25. Flag is down, and looks like a false start penalty called against Tampa Bay with under a half a minute remaining.
False start. Number 70 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Dick, that's the problem when you come to the Metrodome. This is not a place you want to fall behind in, because the noise makes it nearly impossible on these offensive linemen. You've got these defensive linemen like Jared Allen, Brian Robinson, just pinning their ears back, ready to bring heat on your quarterback, and you can't hear the snap count. Tough situation for the Buccaneers.
And the Buccaneers have not really played. These young players haven't played in the noise of this dome. So 1st and 15 after the penalty on Donald Penn. The flip out to Graham, and Graham is put down. Nothing to complain about as far as the tackling by the Vikings in this first half. Winfield limits the play to 1 yard.
Antoine Winfield always has been a great tackler throughout his career. He struggled last week. He took ownership. This whole team took ownership. A wonderful first half by the Minnesota Vikings.
Sure was, and 2 touchdowns by Adrian Peterson, and a terrific all-round game, mixing it up beautifully. Donovan McNabb and company. 17-0 at half.
Fox NFL Sunday lifts off. On America's Game of the Week, the Packers take on the Bears. It's another great slate of NFL action next week, only on Fox.
ready for the start of the second half with the Vikings leading the Bucs 17-0. As efficient as a performance on both sides of the ball as you'll see in the first half. But John, you know, in many ways we've seen this before.
Yeah, total domination by the Minnesota Vikings, but I would caution them this. I watched last week San Diego, out at San Diego, 17-7 at the half. San Diego made adjustments. They stopped attacking. If you're Leslie Frazier, keep attacking the Buccaneers. Now, if you're the Buccaneers, you got to feel like you're in every game. Josh Freeman's done this before. 7 of his 13 career wins have come in fourth quarter comebacks. This guy knows how to finish, as does this team. Should be an interesting game in the second half.
And I think the first team that gets a score in the second half will tell us a lot, whether the Vikings extend it or whether the Buccaneers narrow the deficit. Let's take a look at the first half statistics, and they are staggering to say the least.
Yeah, staggering in every way. 284 total yards for the Vikings, 62. So not only the Vikings offense playing well, their defense has been incredible as well. Tackling excellent, swarming to the football, third down conversions, everything in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. Raheem Morris and the Buccaneers better make some adjustments.
All right, and we want to remind you to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Peterson, Percy Harvin, and Donovan McNabb. What a triumvirate they have been offensively in this half.
Well, Percy Harvin, the question is, you got to ask yourself as a defense, remember where's Waldo? Where's Percy? They line him up all over the field at wide receiver. They line him up in the backfield. Donovan McNabb's been doing a great job finding Percy Harvin and also making plays with his leg. And Adrian Peterson, as you watch Donovan McNabb one more time, extend the play, hold on to the football, good security. And Adrian Peterson, as good a first half as I've seen in a long time. This guy's playing football with great will, mixed with the talent that he has. He's hard to stop right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And Donovan McNabb, who has come out strong, 11 of 17 for 153 yards, protecting the ball. There you see the numbers of the three we've been talking about. And under the radar for sure, Toby Gerhart, the backup to Peterson, who had a 31-yard running play, 42-yard play as a receiver, both career long plays for Gerhart in his second year out of Stanford. And what a relief he gives Peterson in this game, as Minnesota, with Harvin, will receive the second half kickoff.
Well, he's a good football player. We're talking about all these skilled players. What I failed to mention, and shame on me, is the offensive line for the Minnesota Vikings doing an excellent job protecting Donovan McNabb, creating holes for Adrian Peterson. They've been awesome.
Charlie Johnson, who was the left tackle for the Colts. Remember, they lost Brian McKinney, so Johnson has done a good job there. Steve Hutchinson has been you know, one of the prototype guards of all time. John Sullivan at center having a good year. Anthony Herrera, who picked up a fumble to prevent a loss, and Phil Lodeholt at right tackle.
Lodeholt, that name is appropriate. Biggest human I think I've ever seen on a football field. I played 15 years, and I walked out to the practice the other day, and this man is so big. It's incredible.
So Michael Kanan will start the second half, and Percy Harvin back deep for the Vikings. And a good kick by Kanan, and it will sail out of the end zone. Flag is down, however, back on the 40-yard line. Remember, the kickoff's from the 35, and they start 5 yards behind the kicker, not 10 as in the past, or even more.
Offside, kicking team, number 87, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Well, an offsides penalty on the kickoff, which sailed out of the end zone, and now they will re-kick again.
And you know who's back there and licking his chops is Percy Harvin. And I like the move by Leslie Frazier. A lot of coaches would have said, all right, let's take the ball at the 20. Not so fast. I talked about attacking. This is attacking right here. You've got a weapon in Percy Harvin's. Went 104 yards last week versus San Diego. Give him every opportunity to return the football.
103 yards last week and holds the franchise record with 4 career kickoff returns for touchdowns.
Here we are back to where we used to kick the football off last year, the 30-yard line. And Percy Harvin, this guy is explosive. He's a fun player to watch on film because every time he touches the ball, you have the feeling something special is going to happen.
So the re-kick following the penalty. And another deep kick by Kanan. And Harvin will down it about 7 yards in the end zone for the touchback. And the Vikings will start from the 20. Adrian Peterson with 83 yards. And McNabb 11 of 17 for 153, a far cry from his 39-yard passing effort a week ago against San Diego.
And I think if your head coach Raheem Morris, who also serves as the defensive coordinator, nothing else is working, you better start bringing pressure. Tell your corners you're on your own out there. We got to stop number 28.
But number 5 has also used his legs to advantage in this first half. Hands off to Peterson to start the second half. And Peterson gets about a yard on the play. Gerald McCoy comes in to make the stop.
And that's a better start. You saw disruption up front. You saw more of a surge from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line.
Rondé Barber, who's seen just about everything, and a longtime teammate of yours.
And a great one. And Rondé Barber, so proud of the fact that he is now, with Peyton Manning not starting, become the active player with the most consecutive starts. To do it, and to do it at 183 pounds soaking wet, that's even more impressive. The toughest football player I ever played with.
2nd and 9. Here's the pitch to Peterson, cutting up the middle. And Peterson is dragged down by McCoy. Tough tackle there at the 26. He got 6 yards on that play.
Rondé Barber, you know, I've witnessed it. I've, as a teammate, played with a fractured thumb with 5 pins in it. Played with torn hamstrings. Played with, you see Brett Favre, the all-time consecutive starts leader, Peyton Manning, who did it for so long. And now it's Rondé Barber. And he's not just a cornerback. He plays inside, plays linebacker a lot of the time in their defense. He's there right now at linebacker. He mixes it up. Not only does he play often, he plays well.
3rd down and 3, and movement in the line.
False start.
And a false
Number
start.
71 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So Phil Lodeholt with the 5-yard penalty. And you mentioned Barber, of course, the longest active streak right now. He already has the streak for the most cornerbacks in NFL history with 185 consecutive starts, way in front of the 2nd place corner. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 following the penalty. Here's pressure on McNabb. Pass caught by Shanko, and a 1st down to the 32. Visante Shanko. 10-yard gain and another penalty marker. And this may, let's see if this comes back.
Holding number 28 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, there's something that Adrian Peterson hasn't done well today. And I was joking with him the other day. I know something you don't do well. I golfed with Adrian Peterson this offseason. There are things he doesn't do well. Watch Adrian Peterson. He's going to scan, protect, come get a handful of Geno Hayes, and oh no, not much going on there in my mind.
So 3rd down and 18. And McNabb hands off to Peterson, trying to get some running room, and runs into Rondé Barber, and then is tackled by Michael Bennett. So Barber was an obstacle to begin with, and a 5-yard gain, bringing up 4th down. So let's see how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers respond to this, because they could get good field position following the first punt of the game upcoming.
Well, that's a win by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now you talk about the response. What they need to do now is go get points on the football field as an offense. You got to go attack as an offense, make your adjustments, get Josh Freeman going, get LeGarrette Blount going.
Preston Parker is back deep. First punt of the game for Minnesota. Here's Parker. Parker getting into Viking territory. Another flag is down at the 40-yard line, where Parker fielded the punt. So a flurry of flags early on here in this third quarter. Less than 4 minutes have elapsed. Preliminary sign is a holding penalty.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Number 25 in the kicking team. Illegal block in the back. 33 in the receiving team. Those penalties will offset. Re-kick. 4th down.
A do-over.
You watch Tyrell Johnson, the wing on the punt team, and oh yeah, he got a handful of Corey Lynch. You see Albert Mack right in the back. Good job by the officials. These officials, Dick, they really do a nice job. A lot going on this football field, and they're all over it the majority of the time. There is human error, but it's a tough job that they do very well.
And John, they do it in real time. They don't have the slow motion at the outset unless there's a challenge. So Kluwe again to kick it away. Preston Parker running up on the line drive kick in stride in Viking territory. Parker still going, is stopped from behind at the 44. 11-yard return, and for the first time today, the Buccaneers will run a play in Viking territory when we return.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Sprint, all together now. By Lexus, it's time to engineer amazing. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
And welcome back to Minneapolis, and there is LeGarrette Blount. Last week, 5 rushes, 15 yards. He said, I've got to be on the field a lot more, but he's only carried 5 times for 4 yards thus far. That may not have been the plan. First down at the 44 of Minnesota. Josh Freeman's pass, and it's caught. First down to Luke Stocker.
Well, I like a couple things by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right off the bat. Last week, remember, they came out of the second half. LeGarrette Blount wasn't on the field. They went to their 2-minute offense. They felt like they deviated from their game plan. And I also like, last week there was a big play. Rookie Luke Stocker, the tight end, missed a big touchdown pass. Josh Freeman told us, I'm coming right back to him. He did, and his confidence in the young kid paid off.
And here is LeGarrette Blount, and this is what they got with Blount last year, and dives in for the touchdown. A 27-yard run for a touchdown by LeGarrette Blount, and that didn't take long as the Buccaneers held off the Vikings on their first possession defensively and now score quickly here.
Well, it looks like they made some adjustments. Watch Davin Joseph and Jeremy Trueblood on the right side of the offensive line. Great block and hands on people. There's an alley right there. I could run through that hole. LeGarrette Blount, tough guy to bring down in open field. He's too big. Beautiful adjustments. Beautiful start to the second half by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Here's Connor Barth to try to cut the Viking lead to 10, and he does. With 4 minutes going by here in the third quarter, so this is the worst case scenario for the Vikings to see their margin narrowed early here in the second half. And LeGarrette Blount matches his uniform number with a 27-yard touchdown run. They did it quickly in 40 seconds. 2 plays, 44 yards. So unlike the Vikings, who had 3 lengthy drives, the Bucs strike quickly and trail 17-7. And there's the onside kick, loose ball, and recovered by Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers on the onside kick. What a surprise move at this point to keep the momentum going for them.
Well, what a gutsy call by head coach Raheem Morris and special teams coordinator Dwayne Stoops. Gutsy call, and it pays big dividends as the Buccaneers got the ball back.
And this capacity crowd stunned here on this onside kick by Michael Kanan.
You watch Kanan, and it's Kenny Anatolu who gets his hands on the ball. It appears as it's Albert Mack,
yes,
the cornerback, that ends up with the football. I like that call. Gutsy call. You're getting back in the game, but again, you got to be on attack mode. Raheem Morris with the gutsy call that gets the football back in Josh Freeman's hands.
And Adam Hayward knocked a Viking away who had a chance to recover it. And so
they're doing all this scrum, but they've already signaled the football to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So.
And there is Mack, who comes out ahead. And Raheem Morris has seen his team with a big spark early on here in this third quarter. And Tampa Bay will have the ball on their own 47 to start this drive after the onside kick success.
See Raheem Morris congratulating his special teams coach, Dwayne Stukes. And the Vikings crowd getting back in, and they need to be.
First down at the 47. Here is Blunt. And Blunt running for the first down, gets to the 40-yard line. And the Buccaneers, and there is Blunt, who is fired up right now, picking up 13 yards. Abdullah finally brings him down.
Now watch Jeremy Zuta, the left guard, who's starting his first game today. Eric Lorg, the fullback, the receivers, everybody taking part. And LeGarrette Blunt just hurdled Cedric Griffin, the cornerback. A lot of juice and energy in this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team early in the second half.
He had 4 yards at the half. He has 31 yards now. And there is Freeman looking to throw, and it is incomplete. Almost caught on the second chance by Kellen Winslow. And knocked away Jamarcus Sanford with a hit, preventing the reception.
See Josh Freeman stand tall in the pocket. Jared Allen again pressuring. He's always involved in the game. He's always having an effect. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't see that much. Kellen Winslow, some of the best hands in this league. Typically the most sure-handed guy on this team, usually catches that football.
Bucks have not completed a pass to Mike Williams or Aurelius Ben yet. Second and 10 at the 41. Here is Blunt, and the Vikings are there. No gain on the play, and Jared Allen coming in to stop the run that time.
Jared Allen on the stop, but really Aaron Henderson in the backfield. They blitzed him. He made the play, made LeGarrette Blunt bounce, and puts the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a tough third and long situation. And here goes the crowd.
First down, Preston Parker inside the 25. And the crowd looking for a Viking third down stop defensively, and a 17-yard pickup keeps it going for Tampa Bay.
Minnesota's going to come with the pressure. Watch Ernest Graham. Big pickup to give Josh Freeman the time to find Preston Parker. Doesn't always have to be pretty. Got to get in the way, and then Josh Freeman delivers a strike to Preston Parker.
Sammy Strotter unable to play due to injury, surgery on the foot. And here is LeGarrette Blunt. And driving back the defender Fred Davis, and a 3-yard gain.
3-yard gains work as an offense in the National Football League. That's positive yards. You do that twice, you're in the 3rd and 4. That's good progress. You're seeing more room for LeGarrette Blunt in the second half.
And 77 yards to 12 here in the second half, and the Bucks trying to get the turnaround going in the second half. Trailing by 10 and at least in field goal range now. Second down and 7. Play action. Freeman, completed pass to Kellen Winslow and knocked out of bounds. It'll be another first down for the Buccaneers. They'll mark it at about the 12-yard line. Sanford pushed out Winslow, and they'll move the sticks.
And it's almost as if the roles have reversed between the offenses. We saw Adrian Peterson get the run game going early. Donovan McNabb moving the pocket on the boots off of it. Here in the second half, it's LeGarrette Blunt with the runs. Josh Freeman booting to Kellen Winslow off of the run action.
And Jared Allen trying to get that defense riled up as he is. First down, looking one way, pass up the middle. It's intercepted. Hussein Abdullah brings it out for the Vikings. Out past the 30.
Tremendous play by Hussein Abdullah. Josh Freeman's late. When you're late in the National Football League, that's what happens.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL from your mobile phone to get NFL Mobile.
Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL to get NFL action right on your phone. So Josh Freeman, whose touchdown to interception ratio of 25 TDs, 6 picks, second best in the NFL to Tom Brady last year, throws an interception and a 32-yard return by Hussein Abdullah, giving the Vikings the ball, and McNabb comes right back and completes the pass to Bernard Berrien. And Berrien with a first down to the 46. And a big gain of 17.
You go back to the interception. Hussein Abdullah right here. You're going to see Josh Freeman look down the sluggo seam, fakes the slant and go. A little holds the ball too long, gives Hussein Abdullah time to make it up. Again, I told you, bad formula for a quarterback in the National Football League to throw late. The players are too good. Hussein Abdullah turns the momentum back in the Vikings' favor.
That was the first turnover in the game. And Minnesota has a first down on their 47. Peterson, and Peterson driven back by Geno Hayes, and will lose about a couple on that first down play.
When you're playing against a great player like Adrian Peterson, you've got to attack, and you've got to take the fight to him. Geno Hayes, he doesn't wait. He goes in their backfield, and he tackles Adrian Peterson. Your only chance is to go right after them. Fight aggressiveness with aggressiveness. Nice play by Geno Hayes.
Hayes and Quincy Black called on the carpet a bit, so to speak, this week by Raheem Morris. Responding today, here's McNabb's pass, and it's knocked down. Intended for Klein Saucer, and it was Geno Hayes again, this time as a linebacker in coverage.
Actually, Dakota Watson right here in coverage. Dakota Watson, a backup linebacker, but I did their preseason for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This was the most impressive defensive player on their roster. They need to get him more involved on the field more.
Third down and 13. From the 45, pressure on McNabb up the middle, and down he goes. Sean Jones with a safety blitz. Comes right in on Donovan McNabb. Second sack of the game, and they'll lose 10, bringing up fourth down.
Watch Sean Jones. Here he comes. Going to come right up the middle. We talked about the need, the necessity for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense to start attacking, and they take momentum right back with the Sean Jones blitz, and he finishes it with the sack and a celebration.
Now it's turning into a little bit of a boxing match here.
They're both jabbing back and forth, body blows.
Especially in this third quarter. Kluwe punting and Parker back deep for the Bucs. Parker from the 14. And goes out of bounds as he gets past the 30. Toby Gerhart on the special teams play. 17-yard return by Parker. So Josh Freeman gets another chance. We'll be back. Next week, a Fox NFL doubleheader. Game 1, Lions against the Vikings, Giants and Eagles. And America's Game of the Week, it'll be the Packers and the Bears, or Falcons and Bucs next week, beginning with the Built for Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. First down, LeGarrette Blount, who ran 27 yards for a touchdown early in the third, picks up 8 yards with Winfield making the stop.
I think you're seeing early in the second half, this is a team that's not going to deviate from their game plan. And when you talk Josh Freeman, one of the things, and everyone feels it when he walks in a room, his mentality, his presence. When he talked a lot about his dad being a coach helped him with that. And he seems unflappable on the field. He said a lot of that is because when you're a coach's son, you don't get caught up in the hype. You look at teams for what they are. You look at yourself for what they are.
There's Blount getting a few, and he said the overall perspective of football becomes the big picture for him.
That's right, and it's something he does so well.
Flag is down, and a holding penalty against Jeremy Zutter. who replaced Ted Larson at left guard, as John mentioned earlier.
Zuta making his first start, but penalties can hurt so bad when you're starting to gain momentum in a game. You watch Zuta right here going against Latroy Guion. He just gets a handful of jersey, and when you twist like that, they're generally going to call it. Costly penalty for Jeremy Zuta and the Buccaneers.
2nd down and 12. 4.5 to play in the 3rd. Freeman dumps it off, and a good defensive play. Ernest Graham making the catch. And E.J. Henderson, the middle linebacker, and a big loss of 5. Good defensive play for the Vikings. We check in with Kurt with a game break.
Well, a good start in the second half for the Packers. Down at intermission, they've scored 10 points in the first 4.5 minutes, including this 49-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers to Greg Jennings. They take the lead, and now they're inside the 30, looking for more, up 17-13. Dick and John?
All right, thank you, Kurt. So the Packers threatening to add to their lead, and meanwhile on 3rd and 17. Here comes the pressure by Jared Allen, and the pass caught by Graham out of the backfield. A fumble picked up by Minnesota, and the Vikings, a flag is down, and the Vikings have the ball at the 11, and it was Latroy Guion who recovered the fumble, but there's a penalty flag down.
I think it's going to be offsides on Brian Robinson. The Buccaneers will be the beneficiaries.
Offside. Defense, number 96. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
So the penalty nullifies what would have been a critical turnover here.
Those are always tough. Defensive linemen feel like when they get a great get-off, that's exactly was a great get-off. Sometimes it's such a good get-off that it fools the side judge. That one was close.
Crowd a factor here again, 3rd and 12. Freeman in stride and getting away is Preston Parker. Parker still going inside the 25 and tackled at about the 15-yard line. We'll see where they mark it, but it was Asher Allen who made the play after a 51-yard play by Preston Parker from Freeman.
We talked about Josh Freeman's perspective being unflappable. Look at him stand tall. And again, it was missed tackling that ailed the Minnesota Vikings in the second half, and it's a missed tackle there that allows Preston Parker to do his damage after the catch.
And that is the longest play from scrimmage in this young season for the Buccaneers. 1st down on the 21 of the Vikings. Here's LeGarrette Blount, who pounds his way inside the 20 to the 17.
And now you're down here. We were just down here. If you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got to be secure with the football, and you got to get points on the board. You're 10 points down. Field goal will do. Touchdown will do. Got to protect the football.
How long ago was it we were talking about Blount being non-productive here in this game?
You look at that, 9.2 per carry in the second half. That's production.
2nd down and 6. Still not thrown to their wide receivers, Williams and Ben. Here comes a fade, and Williams has it for the touchdown. Mike Williams, and a flag is down. So let's see whether that will go or the penalty against the Buccaneers.
It's coming back. I think they got Aurelius Ben on an illegal shift.
Shift. Offense. Man went in motion, and another man went in motion before he got set. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And that nullifies the touchdown from 21 yards out.
Watch Kellen Winslow. We'll see if he's set well. I think it started before Ernest Graham is set. Aurelius Ben goes in motion. Have to be set before another man goes in motion. The Buccaneers weren't.
Would have been a 17-yard strike and a beautiful throw and catch. Now it's 2nd and 11 from the 22. And the quick pass out to Williams. Can't get away from Antoine Winfield, and a loss of the play of 4. Good play by Winfield. Previous play.
Here's the motion. First one's legal. Let's watch Aurelius Ben. Prior to Ernest Graham being set, he's in motion. And it took away a touchdown pass. A terrific catch from Mike Williams.
Great timing on that one to no avail. So now it's 3rd and 15. Back on the 26. Freeman to Graham. And Graham is tackled again by Winfield. Inside the 20. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Buccaneers will send their field goal team on.
Again, points are what's important. This will make it a 7-point game if you can put this field goal on the board. Ball security of a Freeman. That touchdown would have been nice, but Connor Barth has got to do his job to make it a 1-touchdown game.
36-yard attempt. Missed 5 last year at 28 attempts. 2 for 2 so far this year. And Connor Barth with the field goal. So the Buccaneers, after all of that and a near touchdown nullified, set up by this 51-yard catch and run by Preston Parker. 17-10 now. Dick Stockton and John Lynch back here at the Metrodome, where the Vikings lead now has been cut to 7 as the Buccaneers, with 29 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, have scored a touchdown and a field goal. They went 7 plays on 52 yards and had to settle for 3. After the touchdown pass to Mike Williams was nullified because of penalty. Mike Pereira is going to be coming on after the kick return to explain what happened on that shift. Michael Kanan kicking off, and Percy Harvin back deep for the Vikings. And the ball, it's the old Harlem Globetrotters.
Maybe Mike Pereira could explain that. How's a ball fall off the tee in a dome?
Let's bring in Mike right now. Mike, tell us about the shift here.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting play, but what you have to recognize is as soon as 82 comes across a motion here, now he's got to come to a stop before a second player goes in motion. But you can see the back goes, and now 17 goes. So now everybody has to come to a stop and reset for an entire second. But 17 does not. He's not stopped and reset before the ball is snapped, and that makes it an illegal shift. Anytime you get more than one man in motion at the same time, everybody's got to reset for a full second.
All right, Mike, thank you very much for that explanation. As kickoff by Kanan, deep out of the end zone, and the touchback will bring it out to the 20 for the Vikings with under a half a minute to play in this 3rd quarter, which has been all Tampa Bay, and it could have been much closer than it is now.
And we talked about it at halftime. This is the same script that the Minnesota Vikings followed in week 1. San Diego in week 1 down 17-7. They made adjustments. The Vikings didn't. And the Vikings better start attacking right now and having some efficiency, because the momentum is clearly in Tampa's favor.
But you don't think the Vikings have been sitting on the lead early in this 3rd quarter?
I don't think. I think the Bucs have come out and made some things happen, but you have to answer right now if you're the Vikings.
From the 20, first down, McNabb swings it out to Percy Harvin. And Harvin gets about to the 22.5-yard line, where Mason Foster makes the tackle. A gain of 3, and that may be the last play of the 3rd quarter. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to extend their winning streak over the Vikings to 5 games. Trailing by 7. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Vikings 17, Bucs 10. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. We begin the 4th quarter here at the Metrodome. Dick Stockton and John Lynch. You see Tampa Bay with the 10 in the 3rd quarter. And the Vikings with a 2nd down and 7 on the first play of the 4th. Donovan McNabb's pass is caught by Harvin, and he gets away enough to get the first down. He was able to shake Geno Hayes to pick up 8.
Good strong running from Percy Harvin. Geno Hayes actually with good coverage, but he just fights hard for the first down. Percy Harvin, remember at the University of Florida, was often lined up as a running back. They're doing that with him here, but strong legs for Percy Harvin.
6 catches for 59 yards. Up to the 31. He's carried the ball once for 8 yards. And here's the handoff to Peterson. Up the middle, juking his way, and another first down. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be close. His knee was down about a yard shy of the first down by Cody Grimm, the free safety. So we'll give him 9. Opening minute of the 4th quarter. Both teams looking for their first victory of the year. Bucks coming off a 10-6 season that did not get them the playoff. And Minnesota 6-10. Peterson, meanwhile, over 100 yards on 20 rushes, has scored twice. 2nd and 1. They go back to Peterson. First down. And for a game break, let's check in again with Kurt Menefee.
Well, after a Jay Cutler fumble, the Saints offense takes advantage. Drew Brees hooking up with Robert Meacham for the score, and New Orleans up by 10 late in the 3rd quarter. Dick and John.
So in the NFC South, John, we have 4 teams at 0-1 coming in. That Mason Foster injured. He was shaken up earlier, had to come off the field, so they're tending to him. So New Orleans trying to win their first.
Watch Mason Foster coming in to finish off the tackle on Adrian Peterson, and it looks like that left ankle gets rolled up. That hurts.
Several of the Buccaneers defenders, linebackers and defensive linemen shaken up today.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By DirecTV, this season NFL Sunday Ticket is included when you switch. And by Dodge Journey, the search engine for the real world.
Mason Foster with 10 tackles and a sack, replaced by Adam Hayward. 1st and 10 for Donovan McNabb in a crowd, and gets out of the crowd, but only for about a couple of yards. And Hayward, who just replaced Foster, makes the tackle on the Viking quarterback.
And this defensive front for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, although they're banged up, is doing a much better job on the run and on the pass. Pressuring Donovan McNabb right there, corralling them in the pocket. Sets up a 2nd and long for the Minnesota Vikings.
Price, McCoy, and Bennett have all been shaken up front for the Bucks, and Mason Foster now out of the game. It'll be 2nd down and 8. McNabb down the middle, knocked away, and Harvin is claiming he was interfered with by Dakota Wilson, and he's going to get the point. Flag is down, and it did not look as if Wilson was playing the ball.
It's Mason Foster right here, the rookie middle linebacker.
Right.
And if you don't play the football,
defense number 56, automatic first down.
And a 23-yard gain and a first down.
Mason Foster will learn you've got to play the football in the National Football League. If you don't play the ball, if there's any contact, if it's close, it's going to be pass interference. Got to turn your head, locate the football. Good play by Mason Foster, but that's pass interference in the National Football League.
Boy, he was out injured and comes back and covers downfield. And here's the end around to Percy Harvin with Klein Saucer blocking in front. And Harvin is driven out of bounds hard by Adrian Claiborne, picking up nearly 10 yards, and it is a first down for the Vikings.
We talked about where's Percy. He's all over the field. They use him creatively, and they should. When he's got that kind of ability, that kind of explosive talent, find a way to get him the ball.
Well, they're not sitting on a 7-point lead, that's for sure, here early in the 4th quarter. First down on the 20 of the Bucks. Peterson. And Cody Grimm was holding on for dear life, picking up 4 yards. is Adrian Peterson, who now has 110 for the game. 25th time in his career he's gone over 100 yards in a game.
And this is it's a vicious cycle as a defense when someone's running the football as effectively as Adrian Peterson and the Vikings have. What gets set up? The play action pass, and play action pass is very effective at this point in the field as well.
2nd down and 6. Again, a play action pass, and a catch is made by Michael Jenkins. And let's see if he gets the 1st down with the 2nd effort. They mark it right at the 10-yard line. And that's where the sticks were. Good play by Jenkins.
Good play by Jenkins, and I like the game that Bill Musgrave is calling. He's done a great job of mixing it up, using Adrian Peterson, but also taking the pressure off by occasionally throwing a play action. You're moving the pocket. Good stuff by Bill Musgrave and the Minnesota Vikings.
And a 1st down, 1st and goal, right at the 10-yard line. Peterson, as McNabb falls down, is knocked back for a 2-yard loss by Brian Price. So Brian Price, great story for Brian Price, not playing at nearly 100%, coming off some important surgery.
Well, how about important surgery? How about having your hamstrings reattached, both of them to your pelvis? It's incredible this guy's even playing football. I asked Raheem Morris, is he 100%? He said, I've never seen the kid at 100%, but whatever he was last week, I like it. It was awesome. This guy's a disruptive player. When he gets healthy, he'll be a difference maker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Played only 5 games in his rookie season. And here is the play action rollout, and the pass intended for Shanko. No flags thrown. Dakota Wilson on the coverage on Shanko, who's complaining that he was interfered with. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Dakota Watson, I mentioned it. Good football player. Look at him right there on Shanko. He can rush the passer. He blankets. He reads his keys. He stays on the outside shoulder of Vincente Shanko. People clamoring for a little contact, but good defense by Dakota Watson.
And a good call by the officials. Didn't look like any of that contact affected Shanko. Lorenzo Booker is in the game and lined up to the left as a receiver. And here's the pass tipped at the line as pressure put on by the Buccaneers defense. And Sean Jones with the pressure there. Dakota Watson on that last play, and field goal attempt coming up on 4th down will be a 29-yard try. So the Vikings trying to get the 3 that the Buccaneers got the last time they had the ball. Ryan Longwell with the 29-yard attempt. And Longwell 2 for 2. And the Buccaneers putting pressure on Sean Jones. And as a result, the Vikings have to settle for 3. They're up by 10. Get ready for television's biggest night, the 63rd Primetime Emmy Awards, hosted by Jane Lynch. Be there for the laughter, the surprises, and the red carpet pre-show event. The 63rd Primetime Emmy Awards live tonight on Fox. .941 remaining in regulation. 20-10, the Vikings lead. Preston Parker will field it and down it for a touchback, and the Bucs will take it out on the 20.
Critics are calling New Girl the best new comedy you cannot miss.
Spider! Oh, just a bean.
Premieres this Tuesday after Glee on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Your favorite plays deserve your favorite pizza. Your favorites, your Pizza Hut.
Who was?
Buffalo.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trailing by 10 with 9:41 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And Jared Allen trying to get this crowd into the game and make it tough for Josh Freeman and the offense. action on first down. And the pass overthrown, intended for Kellen Winslow. It'll be 2nd and 10. 7 of 13 career wins for Josh Freeman have been fourth quarter comebacks, and he's going to have to engineer it here, down by 10 points here, but plenty of time to do it.
Dick, I loved it when you asked him, what do you attribute the fourth quarter success to? He said, I want to win. I love winning. There's nothing better, and you felt it from him. This guy is a competitor. He's unflappable. They're never out of a game with Josh Freeman at quarterback.
Here's LeGarrette Blount, and Blount pounding his way and getting close to the 30-yard line, picking up 8 yards. Jared Allen making the tackle on Blount, and he said, I'm not worried about not making the play or being blamed for anything. I want to make the play, and I don't care about what people say. I want to succeed.
He's talking about statistics. A lot of quarterbacks late in a game don't want their stats to look bad. He doesn't throw many picks, but he's not afraid to try to get his team back in the game.
3rd and 2. Freeman flushed out of the pocket, will run, and it looks like he has the first down. Henderson on the hit, and right on the 30. Looked like the ball was over what is really an imaginary line, but it is a first down.
We talked about his ability to extend plays, and when he needs to, those 250 pounds and that 6'6" frame come in handy. Great tackle by E.J. Henderson, but Josh Freeman long enough to stick the ball forward for a first down.
2 carries for 14 yards for Freeman. He has yet to connect with Ben or Williams, his 2 starting wide receivers, and a slant pass is caught by Desmond Briscoe, picking up about 8. Right now, let's check in with Kurt with a game break.
And another NFC North versus South matchup. This one has been all Saints. Darren Sproles' 12-yard touchdown reception from Drew Brees. Brees' third. It's 30-13. Dick and John.
And the Saints rolling it up on the Bears. Meanwhile, 2nd down and 1 for Freeman, throwing on 2nd and 1, and unable to hold on to it was Preston Parker. So 3rd and 1 coming up for Tampa Bay.
We talked about Jared Allen and Donald Penn, 2 very good players going each other in this matchup. Donald Penn, great job with his feet, but your job's never done, Donald Penn. This guy's going to fight and fight all day. Preston Parker just out of the reach of his hands.
Quarterback sneak, and a first down for Josh Freeman as he crosses the 40. So Freeman twice getting the first down yardage with his legs. And the ball at the 40, the clock showing 7:20 to play in the 4th. They're the Buccaneers offensive leaders. Blount with a explosion here in the 2nd half. And a first down. Freeman downfield, and the catch is made by Briscoe. Desmond Briscoe, and a flag is down back on the 30-yard line. Jared Allen coming in strong on Freeman. That would be a 19-yard penalty.
Roughing the passer, number 69 in the defense. Turned in, lowered his shoulder, and hit the quarterback. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Big catch by Briscoe, and then roughing the passer against Allen.
Desmond Briscoe, who all the Buccaneers will tell you, best hands on the team along with Kellen Winslow. Terrific catch. You see the roughing in the passer penalty. Well, they protect these quarterbacks. I know it's tough on these defensive players. That's what the referees are told to do in the National Football League in today's world, and Jeff Triplett calls it.
19 yards on the pass, 15 on the penalty, 34 yards in all, and a first down. And there's a pass into the end zone, and it's caught by Aurelius Ben for the touchdown. First pass to the wide receiver all day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 25 yards to Ben, who beat Cedric Griffin for the score.
We talk about never being out of a game with Josh Freeman at the quarterback. He throws footballs like that when the game's on the line. Crunch time brings his team within 3 points here. If they convert on the PAT, we got a football game.
And Connor Barth is on for the extra point, as Freeman now 17 of 25 for 197 yards. And a superb pass to Aurelius Ben for the touchdown, the extra point. And now the lead is 3 for the Vikings. With 6:39 to go, Josh Freeman going to work his MO. Fourth quarter comebacks, showing why. 8 plays, 80 yards. They took 3 minutes. Most of the drives by the Vikings have been long drives. The Buccaneers short drives. And Michael Kanan kicking off to Lorenzo Booker, who runs it out from 7 yards. And Booker in trouble. And Booker is down inside the 10-yard line. And let's go back to the touchdown that brings the Bucs closer.
Well, a lot of talk in Tampa this week about this guy, LeGarrette Blount, not being on the field in 2-minute situations. Great job by Greg Olsen. Even if he's a decoy, look at the attention he attracts. Safety flying up, you double move outside, and you throw a dime to Aurelius Ben. Beautiful execution by Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Vikings and Jared Allen understand they got a fight on their hands.
And for Jared Allen, that 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer, helping the Bucs getting closer for that score, down by 3. Vikings, though, on the 9. First down. Donovan McNabb inside his 5, and the pass is caught by Vicente Shanko at the 15, picking up 6.
If I'm the Minnesota Vikings, you've been pounding the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense with Adrian Peterson. He's got 110 yards. Their attention, they need the ball back. Their attention's going to be on Adrian Peterson. Bernard Berrien, I'd take a shot to him up top. That's your speed guy. I would take a shot. I'd load up. Bernard Berrien's not on the field right now. That's what I would do, though. I'd get him on the field and run him deep against Aqib Talib.
Second down and 4. And they run it to Peterson, who gets the first down, crosses the 20, gets it out to the 23. Kurt Menefee with a game break. Kurt.
Arizona quarterback Kevin Cobb winning the Tough Guy Award on this play against Washington. Hangs in there, gets the throw off, and hooks up at a wide open Larry Fitzgerald. 73 yards for the score. Arizona leads it 21-13 in the fourth quarter. Dick and John, they're trying to go to 2-0 for only the second time in 19 years.
Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt, from the Minneapolis area, played at the University of Pittsburgh.
First down at the 22 after Peterson's gain. And there's the slant batted down. And it was Tim Crowder going up to knock McNabb's pass away. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Big down in the game right here. 3-point game. You got 5 minutes left. 2nd and 10. Your job as an offense is to get half of it back. Make a manageable 3rd down. Cat and mouse game. Do you give it to Peterson, or do you continue to mix it up, throw to the tight ends? We'll see what goes on.
Leslie Frazier, who was 3-3, taking over last year, first full year as head coach here in Minnesota. 2nd down and 10. They'll give it to Peterson. Peterson gets to the 26-yard line, and Roy Miller making the stop, bringing up 3rd down. He picked up 4 on that play.
3rd down. Raheem Morris and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers told us they were going to be looking for Percy Harvin on 3rd down. He's where the Vikings like to go on big 3rd down situations. This fits that bill. A huge 3rd down situation in this game.
Remember, the Vikings started from the 9. Now it's 3rd and 6. There he is in the slot left. Here's McNabb going up on top, and the ball knocked away. Aroma Shadu defended by E.J. Biggers, and a big play by the nickelback for The Tampa Bay Buccaneers bringing up 4th down, and Kluwe will come into punt.
Watch E.J. Biggers working against Aroma should do. This is good coverage. Play the receiver, then look and lean, they call it. Look, locate the football, lean into the wide receiver. Perfectly executed one-on-one coverage by E.J. Biggers.
Kluwe will be kicking, and Preston Parker is back deep. And the flag, several flags thrown.
False start. Number 97 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
It's Everson Griffin on the penalty, so they'll spot the ball at the 21. So Kluwe will be kicking again, and that will help Parker in his endeavor to get good field position for the Buccaneers. Kicking it directionally toward the sideline and out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it, and they're going to come up toward the 40, and they're going to mark it at the 38. Good field position for Tampa Bay, a 31-yard kick. Well, today, following football, Fox Sports is proud to bring you exciting coverage of the Barclays Premier League as Manchester United takes on Chelsea in a match between two of soccer's greatest teams. Coverage begins later today following football in high definition on Fox. Check your local listings for the start time in your area.
I saw Joel and Brian Glazer on the field today. I told them they had a doubleheader on Fox. Their team here, the Bucs and Manchester United, who they own as well.
I don't think they'll get there in time, though. First down, and the pass is caught shy of midfield by Parker. Picks up almost 9 yards on first down with Chad Greenway, the linebacker, downfield on the coverage.
And Dick, this is a resilient young football team for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Youngest team in football, 6-2 on the road last year. They thrive in pressure situations, and they're in one right now.
In fact, no one in the league has been better in the last 10 games on the road than the Bucs. 2nd and 1. Freeman completes the pass to Parker again, and a first down into Viking territory at the 43. Henderson on the tackle. They get 11. Good protection for Josh Freeman.
Great protection. And watch this again. We're going to keep going back to this matchup, but Jared Allen has a way of wearing down tackles. Donald Penn doing a great job moving his feet, getting his hands on Jared Allen. Davin Joseph, Jeff Fain, all these guys protecting Josh Freeman remarkably well right now.
Parker made a good catch on the pass behind him. First down in Viking territory, and this pass caught. And they'll mark it inside the 30. Kellen Winslow and another first down, getting 14 yards. And this crowd getting very anxious here as the Buccaneers with 2:48 to go.
Watch Kellen Winslow. He's going to run a corner route. Get behind Antoine Winfield in the coverage. You can't throw a better football. Josh Freeman's hot right now. Sitting back, getting time, moving in the pocket, and throwing strikes.
4th catch for Winslow. First down. Here's Graham on the carry. And Ernest Graham with his 2nd effort getting inside the 25. Picks up 5 yards. Abdullah on the tackle as we wind down close to the 2-minute warning.
In field goal range for Connor Barth already. Buccaneers trying to win this thing, not just play for the tie.
2nd and 5. Freeman's pass. Graham has it, and a first down at the 17. And we'll have our 2-minute warning. Greenway on the coverage. And for Josh Freeman, business as usual. 4th quarter comebacks. But can he finish the job? 2-minute warning, 1:56 left. Tale of 2 halves. And Donovan McNabb may have to break a tie or come from behind to win. 2-minute warning, first down and 10 on the 17 for the Bucs, who are down by 17 at the half, and this pass knocked away. And it was Tyrell Johnson knocking the ball away from Kellen Winslow. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, Dick, we saw in this area before, going to Preston Parker, the interception going to Kellen Winslow, Tyrell Johnson has it in his hands. Hussein Abdullah earlier. Windows tighten in the red zone. Josh Freeman, who's usually so secure with the ball, you've got to be careful with the football.
Mr. Comeback, Josh Freeman trying to engineer another one. Already in field goal range for Connor Barth, and the handoff to Ernest Graham, and Graham brings it close to the 10-yard line. Hussein Abdullah making the stop, a pickup of 6. It'll be 3rd down and short. Those of you who saw the Steelers beat the Seahawks, waning moments here in the 4th quarter. The Vikings lead by 3, and the Buccaneers already in field goal range threatening. It'll be 3rd down and 4. They were down 17-0 at the half. This pass is caught for the 1st down by Preston Parker at the 5. Another 6-yard gain as we wind down to a minute to go. Each team has all 3 timeouts remaining.
What a throw by Josh Freeman. 3rd down. Kellen Winslow is his favorite target on 3rd down. They clear out with Kellen Winslow, and they bring Preston Parker, who's only playing because Sammy Stroughter's out with an injury. What a catch by Preston Parker on a big 3rd down.
He's had 6 catches, 98 yards, so it's 1st and goal at the 4. Here's LeGarrette Blount up the middle. Touchdown, Buccaneers! The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are down 17-0 at the half, against what was a flawless Minnesota effort on both sides of the ball in the 1st half, have rallied to take the lead with 31 seconds left in the 4th.
Wow. Total domination in the 1st half by the Minnesota Vikings, and the script repeats itself from last week. In the 2nd half, they've failed to finish, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 31 seconds up by 3. Tremendous comeback from the Buccaneers.
Connor Barth adds the extra point, and it's now 24-20, so the Vikings need a touchdown to win this game.
You look at the big 3rd down conversion, a game of inches. Jared Allen almost has his paws on it. Antoine Winfield almost deflects it, but Preston Parker with a clutch catch, clutch throw by Josh Freeman, and then you're going with the power game. Behind Zuta, LeGarrette Blount bludgeons the Minnesota Vikings, just like Raheem Morris said he wanted to do.
Adrian Peterson scored 2 touchdowns in the 1st half. He has gone over 100 yards. And Peterson has 120 in the game, but Tampa Bay mounting another comeback and trying to make it 5 in a row against these Vikings and get their 1st win of the year. So it's been a story of 2 halves. And not much time left on the clock, and the Vikings need the touchdown. Look at the total yards from half to half. Staggering.
And great job by Raheem Morris. Whatever he said at halftime, it worked. And it helps to have Josh Freeman, who seems to be making a habit out of these slow starts, but he knows how to finish.
You almost think the Buccaneers don't even want a good first start in the game, John. Percy Harvin running up. Bobbles the ball, slips, in trouble, and down he goes at the 10. So Harvin trying to make things happen on the kickoff return. Corey Lynch making the tackle. The ball is at the 10.
And field position was absolutely key right here. You've got an explosive returner, and Percy Harvin went the distance last week. Have to secure the ball. You only have 24 seconds. You have your 3 timeouts, but you need a touchdown. Buccaneers up by 4. You need 6 points. You don't need 3.
And a big mountain to climb for Donovan McNabb, starting from the 10-yard line. He's had 24 career game-winning drives, including postseason. McNabb under pressure, and the pass is incomplete. Tim Crowder putting the pressure on McNabb, and Berrien was the intended receiver. And this crowd here at the Metrodome is stunned. And Josh Freeman, in his third year, look at his second half, 15 of 20, 191 yards. And that only really tells part of the story for the crucial third downs he made.
This guy thrives under pressure. He loves pressure. He invites pressure. And when he does, he makes the other team pay. Unflappable, Josh Freeman. And in only his third year as a quarterback in this league, his maturity shows itself once again.
Second down and 10. Back on his goal line, and he flips it to Adrian Peterson. Here is Peterson, and he'll go out of bounds and stop the clock with 9 seconds remaining at the 20. Tim Crowder once again putting good pressure on, and the other offensive force for the Buccaneers is LeGarrette Blount, who last week carried the ball only 5 times for 15 yards. Had nothing in the first half, John Lynch, and then exploded in the second half.
They stuck with their game plan. 1 week ago against Detroit, they didn't stick with the game plan. They went right to the 2-minute, took Blount off the field. Today they stuck with him, and he makes Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator, and everybody on the Buccaneers happy.
First down at the 20. And the clock, the major factor here against the Vikings. Pass is caught by Harbin, and he goes behind to Peterson. Peterson goes back to Harbin. Harbin trying to get to midfield is down, and a loose ball with no time remaining, and the game is over. And a great comeback by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who will play at home to Atlanta next week. The Vikings will be here against Detroit, and a huge win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are now 1-1 on the year, and frustration for Donovan McNabb and the Vikings. Final score 24-20. Vikings are 0-2, and we'll be back at the Metrodome right after this. And the Buccaneers beat the Vikings 24-20. And right now, let's take a look at today's Domino's Stat Tracker. Josh Freeman engineering the comeback. Adrian Peterson, 2 touchdowns and 130 yards. Preston Parker with 6 catches and nearly 100. So for John Lynch, Dick Stockton saying goodbye from Minneapolis. And right now we take you to the conclusion of the game between the Packers and the Panthers out in Charlotte. And right now let's send you to Ron Pence and Jim Moore.